Welcome, my beautiful Aquarius, to your 2026 year forecast. And this is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Today, I'm going to look at the entire year. And first, I'm going to take an overview and look at your year through that perspective. And then I'm going to be pulling cards for each one of the quarters. If you haven't, just go grab a journal. We can write some ideas down as we go through and you connect with your own intuition. What is going to be happening for you this year? I wanted to let you know that on January 25th, I am going to be holding a free workshop. And in this workshop, I'm going to go over the big astrological shifts that are happening in 2026. As well, I'm going to pull a tarot and oracle card for each one of the months in 2026. And together we can look at the energy, and you can be pulling cards and looking at your own chart at that same time so that you can find that relevant significance to you specifically as I read for the collective. So the link is below. Just click it and come join. If you're not able to come at that time, please know I'll send you the replay. Okay, let's move down my camera so you can see the cards that I have pulled for you today, my beautiful Aquarius. What I wanted to do in the overview is I wanted to start with an archetypal deck. So this is the wild unknown archetype. And the archetype that you have, Aquarius, is the storm. And the storm is like the tower card. So it's everything shifting and changing and moving, but it's all shifting and changing, moving in the best way for you. So it's going to let things go. It's really going to wash away what doesn't serve you in the storm. If you think of storm as a storm water, it's just going to allow you to just wash everything away. And by the end of the year, you're going to get a really good sense of what is left is the core essence of you that you are trying to create, which also brings up for me the idea that I'm channeling and connecting into is this idea that what do you want for yourself in 2026? By the end of this, what is the version of you that you are creating throughout this evolution of your soul, evolution of your life, evolution of your spirituality, your body, your heart, your mind? I am not sure. What are you looking at? And the reason why I say that is because when we have these big shifts and changes, you are the one that is creating from your desires, from your energetic perspective, and you're bringing in that energy. So it's important to not just allow fate to happen to you like a pinball machine, just going ding, 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 and you're just, oh, this is happening, that's happening. But instead, responding in the sense of, this is my destiny. I want to create this. It also speaks about a lot of reframing it from everything that's happening, it's happening for you and not to you is about victim consciousness. And it is the stories that we have in our heads. And it's a huge shift. And it happening for you is being curious as, oh, okay, this is happening. Why is this happening? And I just read this quote by a beautiful mystic teacher that I follow, Carolyn Meese. And she said, healing is not a project, it is a lifestyle. So in your healing lifestyle, this is going to be a year of healing. And so figuring out how you want to do that and being curious and being just prepared, not in fear, but with curiosity, joy, and excitement about you are just coming out of your chrysalis and you're moving into this beautiful butterfly. So what does that look like for you? I just want to also just make a note of spiritual sovereignty for me. So I just talked about I'm speaking to my spirit team and I'm channeling my energy. And so for me, spirit team talks first about that huge energies. It's the universe, creator, the divine, God. Everybody has a different name, and it is that we're connecting with. And then as well on my spirit team, I have my angels, my saints, my spirit guides, God, goddesses, and my ancestors and my loved ones in spirit. And I believe that they're all here with me and they're helping me connect to the divine. And that's how I'm channeling the energy, because I've set the intention, Aquarius, that this is for your highest good, your healing, your expansion, your growth, and your deeper understanding of 2026. And I invite you, as you listen to this, your spiritual sovereignty is to really listen to the words, phrases, images that come to you as you listen to mine, as I explain the cards, because that is your spirit team talking to you. And that's how you take a collective reading and you move it into an individual reading for yourself. So just do that. Just write down whatever is coming to you and leave the rest if it does not resonate. Because collectively, I'm going to give you different ways to lean into it, and you can listen with your intuition and your soul and your body to understand it specifically for you as we move along. Okay, so we have the storm, like the Tower card. Things are changing. Next, from the Feywood Oracle, we have fireflies. Happiness illuminates your path. So when I lean into this, there's a storm happening. And I don't know about you, but I grew up. We had this overhanging deck on the back of our house. And as a family, I grew up sitting outside. We would take our chairs outside and watch the lightning and thunderstorms. I live in central Alberta in Canada, and the storms around here in the summer are spectacular. And so I saw storms as not something to fear, but something to be amazed by and just to watch how they roll through and watch what's going on. And now spiritually, I am understanding these storms that come in. They do cause pain at times and they are challenging at times, but they bring at the end of it such growth and such happiness that I didn't even know I needed. So that's where it's so good for me. And that's where the happiness illuminates your path. You're going to be looking and where you find joy, where you find happiness, and easily receiving it. And that's what this card is really talking to you about. If you are going down paths and it's just always pain, always hard, always victim consciousness, then you need to either get some help, and that might be through a therapy, that might be through a shaman, Reiki, maybe a reading, any of these things that help you see how you can illuminate the joy and happiness in your life. What do you need to peel away to get to that? Because that's going to be your compass. That's going to be your roadmap. And Michelle Buchanan with the numerology is 85. Follow your dreams. And that speaks back to what are you creating? If you're following your joy and your happiness and where you find deep love, that's your dream. That's what you're moving towards. And knowing your map, and over here, it speaks about really having that 10,000 foot view, the far sight, about having that 10,000 foot view as you're following your map. See the big map. Where are you going? What do you want from yourself? End of 2026, end of 2027, and maybe even going 5, 10 years. What is it you are creating for yourself? And sometimes what's coming in is the wheel of life assessment. So you might want to do a wheel of life assessment. Maybe you've never really thought of your life this way. And all a wheel of life assessment is, and you can Google it, it is just taking a circle and you break it into 6 or 8 or 12. It does however many aspects of your life you want to look at. And you just break it up. So if you have 6, you might be looking at your health. You might be looking at your family, your work. You might be looking at joy. You might be looking at your physical. So you might be weightlifting. You might be watching your eating. You might be working on relationships. You might be building a new skill. I don't know. You can Google Actually, you can find different ways. And if you Google it, they often can give you different ideas to springboard from. Because the reason why you're going to do that is then now you're going to assess yourself out of 10. It just starts to get you to think about, oh, I'm doing really well there. Actually, when I think about it, I'm doing well in my relationships. I'm doing well with my mind. But you know what? My spirituality, I'd like to grow in this area. I can see that it's a lower number. I would like to grow in my yoga. I would like to grow in my weightlifting, however you put it. So that assessment helps you to have a 10,000-foot view and follow your dreams. And you're setting that intention. I'm expanding towards my highest potential, the best version of yourself at every moment. Excuse me. And the Tao Oracle, this is the I Ching. It's talking about decreasing. So as you're following your dream and you're going, and this is the old way magical oracle. As you're looking at the 10,000-foot view, just like these hawks, eagles. Excuse me, just one moment. I'm just gonna cough. Oh, you just had a little tickle in my throat. This I Ching is getting you to really identify what you need to decrease. I'm going to read some of these words for you because they might be the words that really resonate individually with you. Decline, cutting back, fragility, contraction, letting go, less is more, resourcefulness, a sacrifice. It is getting you to think where you need to decrease. And I'm actually seeing it in some of these ways is you might need to decrease how you're contracting. So sometimes it's I need to take things out, but you might already be very contracted and not easily able to receive the abundance that's happening in your life. And so it's actually a softening when you're decreasing this judgment, perfectionism, contraction, fear, anxiety. So that's what you need to decrease in order for yourself to expand into your highest potential. Or you may need to uh, decrease the amount you spend on numbing yourself. And for me, this is what this looks like. It means, I put on Netflix and I get my popcorn or my chips. And so I'm feeding my body unhealthy foods and I'm numbing my mind so that I'm not thinking about stuff. I'm just allowing myself just to go. Now, that every once in a while is not bad. If I do it as a way to, in a short amount of time, I use actually listening to an audiobook and doing color by number on my iPad as a way to neutralize my nervous system. I find it just calms me down, but I know I'm out of whack if I do it for 2, 3 days or a week in a row, because now I've got my head stuck. I've got my emotions stuck and I'm contracted again. I'm not moving. And so I have to decrease that. And I have to increase moving my energy. I have to increase going for walks, being outside, connecting with spirit, connecting with myself. So this is where you're going to be. What is it you need to decrease for yourself throughout this year? What does that look like? And it's coming towards you. And this is the soul card. The soul card, these cards, oracle cards, come with no words. It's looking at the images and the colors and how they speak to you. And oh, this is mystical. I see this as your spirit team. I see this as the sun bursting through you. I see as you figure this out, your year is really going to expand you. And I see this light just expanding out of the center of who you are. And your spirit team is helping you do that. And they're going to be sending you messages. So there is abundance coming your way. And I would be asking myself, am I blocking it? Does abundance actually freak me out? Like if things go well, and there is you know what? There is a time in my life when I actually used to say these words. If it is too easy, then I don't trust it, because too easy means that that it's wrong. And that's not true. Now I have rephrased it and I say, I easily receive abundance in my life. And it does come. It comes from the mundane things like a great parking spot when I'm going to with my mom and we need a close parking spot, or even for myself. I easily receive everything I need to have this beautiful life that I'm creating. And I easily receive it. So I've had to shift that from, oh, no, I don't trust it unless I'm worried and I'm anxious and I'm fearful and I'm so contracted. I had to reframe and change my thinking and to allow myself to be in this light. And it is a powerful place I'm at now, in the sense of I am always in this state of healing. I am always in this state of expanding and allowing myself to receive the magic and miracles from the everyday to the absolute incredible. And that's how I am working to live my life. So I will now work on the first quarter. And so this is January, February, and March. I am using the Light Seer Tarot from Chris Ann Donnelly. I'm going to pull 3 tarot cards. This is 6 of Cups. Next, we have the Hanged Man in reverse, and we have Queen of Pentacles. I'm also going to pull an oracle. This is Colette Baron Reed's Animal Spirit Oracle deck, and I just want to know the energy for this quarter. What is the energy that is also coming in? And the energy is Sandpiper Spirit. Be playful. So first we have this beautiful 6 of Cups. Cups is the suit of water. It is the suit of relationships, emotions, and intuition. And you can see in here, this cup really speaks to nostalgia, our memories. And it is talking about the beautiful memories we have that we are bringing forward with us. Who have we created ourselves to be? And these are positive memories. Sometimes if you find a lower frequency in this card, it might be you live in the past. You are not using nostalgia to celebrate how you're moving forward and help dictating, guiding you on your path, saying, this is what I have loved. This is what I want to create. This is where I had joy in the past. And I want to keep exploring it. Or I've had joy in the past here, and now I'm going to try a different route. So this in its highest version is using your beautiful life as a compass and saying, this is where it's really rocked and I've loved it, and I'm going to keep moving that way. And check if it's in its lowest frequency, this card, because you're stuck in the past and have a hard time living in the now and imagining a future that can even be better. So it's just asking you to look at that. And this card is actually in protection. So in reverse, every card reader reads them differently. I read these cards. This card of the 78 was chosen in this spot. So is the energy coming in? Is the energy going out? Or is it blocked? So this card is a major arcana. Tarot has 4 suits and then the major arcana, which is the hero's journey. Anytime you have a card from the major arcana, it has more weight in this reading. And so the Hanged Man is really just that. It's you're hanging upside down. Sometimes they have someone hanging from a tree. This one has this beautiful woman in doing this. It's left my brain. Anyway, she's doing that class where she's hanging and getting a different perspective. So this is what the Hanged Man card is about. It is about changing your perspective. As soon as we look at things from a different perspective, we understand it in a different way. It's also about taking a break. It is just stopping. You cannot move forward. You cannot, it's not a card of action. It's a card of this sacred pause. And I see this energy, it's asking you if it is being blocked, meaning it is being blocked for you if you have a hard time dealing with shifts and changes and adjusting to it. It is blocked for you if the flow is coming in mind. So there's like a river flowing. And if you are having a hard time floating along and allowing through surrender and trust, allowing to co-create with the divine. And so then they're bringing you down the river and you trust that flow. You trust that you're not going to hit a waterfall. You trust that you're not going to hit big rocks. You're just going to go with the flow. That's what's happening. And for some people, that will be challenging. And so here there's some sacred pauses, but with very specific direction. Using these sacred pauses, using these reflections to help move you forward and to really help you navigate the past. So the past is now wisdom and guiding you forward, and it is not an anchor holding you to the past. It's allowing you to live in the now and moving towards what you're creating. And the beautiful Queen of Pentacles is the suit of earth and everyday living. So it's your work, your home, your family, your finances. And this beautiful queen, as you can see, she is just so nurturing, so content. Content is the word I have in her body, in her world, with her relationships, with her work. And she is nurturing all of those around her. And she's not depleted. She's not over pleasing. She's not following some agenda that is not her own. She is really enjoying sitting here, having the sun just caress her body. And she just loves the richness of her garden, the richness of the earth around her, and is really tied to the earth, really tied to nature. And she just feels good. She doesn't feel stuck. She doesn't feel like she needs to run and do a marathon. She just feels happy in this moment, in this now. And what's coming in is that this is what we're trying to create each now moment. So in our now moment, can we sit in complete love of self, love of others? And can we sit in that love and create from that love? And if we are in pain, if there are challenges that are coming to us, how do we take care of ourselves emotionally? How do we take care of our nervous system? How do we take care of our body, our soul, our hearts, and recognize that there is pain so that we can move back into a state of, yes, it can be challenging, but I'm okay. I'm in such a good place because I know what I'm creating. And so it's finding ways to do that. And you do that by being playful, by finding joy, by finding happiness is illuminating your path. So playing. So if you find yourself really stuck or dense, you need to go play, need to go have fun, need to go play hitster, need to go play volleyball, go play a word game, have fun, whatever that looks like for you. Throw a ball for your dog, have lots and lots of fun. And now for each of the quarters, we're going to have Judith Orloff's surrender cards. So what do you need to surrender into for this quarter? Surrender to play. I'm not sure if it could be any more clear. Aquarius, in the first quarter, you need to play and find happiness and joy. This is how you're going to create. This is how you're going to move through things. This is where you are going to move, co-create, and become this amazing individual at the end of 2026 that you're trying to create the highest potential and version of yourself. And it is through play and fun. So even though what I'm talking about is hard work, you're going to do that hard work through play. Maybe you do art therapy and you're looking at art therapy. And so that is play, that is joy, that is fun. I'm not sure. Whatever you find is fun. But yes, don't you love it when our spirit team and the cards just say, we would like to put an exclamation mark on this in case you were unsure. You need to play. Okay, now I've reached for a second tarot deck because I'm interested to see if there similar cards come up. And this is Wild Reflections Tarot. And this is for the second quarter, which is April, May, and June. And April has quite a few different shifts, astrological shifts happening. So for yourself, it's going to be looking at what that means. And we have the Five of Swords, the Hanged Man in a different version. So this is what's important. There's some throughout this year, there's some different, being invited to look at things in a different way. And the King of Wands in reverse. And for this one, I'm going to use the Magic Spirit Oracle. Just looking at the energy of this quarter. Just looking at the energy. It is the forbidden forest. You are so brave to keep on going the way you do. This is bravery, persistence, redemption. So it's this idea of you might be out coloring outside the lines, but keep going. You need that energy of doing that. And so the Five of Swords comes in. Swords is our suit of air. It's communication. It's our thinking. And the story of this card is really this guy. He just came and he took all this guy's arrows and he won. He beat it. It was a win-lose situation. And this guy over here is losing, completely and totally annihilated. You can just see the body language, just devastated, demoralized. And so it's looking here, and I read this card always two ways, because sometimes you might be the aggressor, and sometimes you might be the demoralized. So in either one of those, the five is about conflict, it's about discord, it's about creating, instead of this win-lose situation, it is about creating win-win situations. And how do you, if you're the deflated one, bring back your power and recognize that no one can make you feel any way. And it's also reframing, as I've said, if there's a situation that looks like this, how is it happening for you? What are you being asked to, in this storm, release, heal? What trigger is coming up? And how can you work with your inner child and really love them in that moment that they're responding, in that sense of pain, in that sense of chaos? If for yourself, you find that you're in this role of, I'm going to use my anger, my fire to annihilate everyone around me because I feel unsafe and I'm worried. So I'm just going to take control. It's really now starting to think, okay, is this the best course of action? Is this going to bring me towards my highest potential? Is this bringing me towards deep healing, deep self-love, and therefore compassion and love for myself and those around me? So the Five of Swords really speaks to some crunchy and challenging situations, and it's getting you to reflect on how you're going to respond to them. And how do you respond? By the Hanged Man. Once again, it is getting you, this time the card is not in reverse, it's getting you to bring this in even more fully, getting you to look at the situation from different perspectives, getting you to take a sacred pause before you act. So this is just some things like take 10 deep breaths before you say something. If you have an email that sends you off the deep end, do not respond for 24 hours. Make sure that you have a conversation with someone else before you respond. If you find your mind swirling and having that almost death rattle of self-criticism, self-judgment, you need to find a way to say stop and find ways to hug yourself, to take care of yourself so that you can look at the situation that you're spiraling over with a new perspective. So that's what the Hanged Man, and this is the major arcana card. So this is this main energy. You can even go look up the Hanged Man. And I do the same things when I read for myself. I even go look up. I go on to, I can Google it. I also have many, many books behind me. And I go read and I look at what images, what words really connect. And that is the energy that I need at that time. I would go explore that because it's come 2 times for you. And what it's doing is it's bringing the King of Wands. And I intuitively know this energy is coming in. The King of Wands, Wands is the suit of creativity. It's fire, it's passion, it's your dreams, it's what you're building. This is the King of Wands energy. And by navigating these challenging and difficult situations in a way that is not going to follow all the shoulds. So it might not follow all the rules of the organizations you're within, or the way you were grown up, or the way we were taught that we should respond. You need to find a different perspective, a different way. And it's just keeping doing this brave work at looking at yourself and the situation in that way, because it's bringing your happiness, your fire, your dreams, your spark, your light, and you are co-creating as you do that. You are bringing out your inner fire. And that's what the King of Wands really understands what he loves to do, understands, and it doesn't have to be a male energy, understands this highest version of the wands, understands their co-creative nature with the divine, and how they have this unlimited creation ability to create within them. And the way through that and to that is by deep self-love, healing, and therefore working from that level of self-love, healing, joy, happiness with everyone around you and your situation, working in the now and knowing this is what you're creating. And so you're kind of doing a check. Am I there? Am I there? And if I'm not, how do I find more joy? How do I find ways to help myself get that creative energy? And play is what you need to do. Just go back to that play, go back to that joy. It's through the play that you're going to find the walls get knocked down. I just have it's like, as soon as you play, this energy just starts to just go and just flow and flow and flow, and just obstacles and barriers that are inside of you, because all of this is inner work. Those obstacles and barriers inside of you just start to dissipate as you play and have fun and joy. And you recognize, as you look at it from a different perspective, oh, you know what? This is what the answer is. This is how you solve it. Okay. And what are you being asked to surrender? Surrender to receiving support and love. Allow the love and support of others in, rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. So it's saying, don't do this alone. You need to work with others in your spirit team. So through the divine, ask for help, ask for signs, ask for protection, ask for healing, ask for people to come into your life that are going to help open you up and bring you what you need. And then this is about being open to it. And it can start from a very simple thing of, how do you receive compliments? How do you receive gifts? Do you say thank you and just receive? Or do you immediately think you have to give back or give a compliment back? Can you just open up and easily receive? Can you take the love and support and call out to your network when you need it? These are important aspects. And this is giving a nod. That's what you're doing. And it could be through your fun and play. And maybe it's this fun and play group is really going to help bringing you forward. And that is so important that you lean into that. It is so important. Okay, now in our third quarter, so this is July, August, and September. And July has some big shifts also happening, and it's not that the others don't. So I'm just doing some of these. Some months, the shifts are happening. We actually have the fallout through all the other months. So It is interesting. This is the Cosmic Wisdom Oracle Tarot from Ethany. Just have to get it all out. Okay, what are we bringing in for this one? It is the Empress in protection. It is death in protection or reverse. It is Four of Cups in reverse. So we have three of these cards in reverse. Two of them are major arcana. So the third quarter of the year, July, August, and September, have some significance for you. So it's important whenever I see all of these in reverse, what it's telling me is now I'm going to get you to check, because this is an individual check. I'm going to tell you what they sound like, feel like at any given time and moment. And we're going to use the Alana Fairchild, Sacred Rebels, just to find out the energy. Conscious connections. Okay, conscious connections is looking for like-minded people that help you. It's this surrender to receiving support. And conscious connections is consciously connecting with spirit, with God goddesses that help you, with humans that are going to help you, and just recognizing that they're here for your journey. And so now let's look. So the Empress, sorry, it's the Emperor, not the Empress. It is the Emperor. So this is the Emperor is the 4 card. It is a solid card of knowing who you are and really leaning into who you are in all aspects of your being. And so sitting on a throne, I also see it standing with your hands on your hips, and you're just looking. You are a person and understanding who you are. So is it coming in or is it blocked? And this is where you have to ask yourself, because if you haven't done the work up here, this is a wonderful check for you. This is where Spirit says, oh, we still have more time, because we're going to bring in experiences and events to help you really embody who you are. If you've done the work, this is going to be easy. This energy just starts to flow, and you're like, yes, this is who I am. I know who I am through this. And it really lets me put structures in place. This is a card of structure. It lets me put my life in order in a way towards what I'm creating. And it lets you follow your dreams by creating that map. And it's saying, yes, for this last half of the year, I understand now from what I've been going through and from the different perspectives and my contemplation and my thinking and my prayer, I understand how I need to move forward and who it is that I am creating and the structures that I am putting in place to help me bring that into fruition. And then we have the Death card. So the Death card is similar to the Tower card. It is a death and rebirth. So it is not actual death. So it's not like, oh, death is coming in. It is here because it is transition. And are you blocking the rebirth? Are you staying in? So it's this idea of moving from the caterpillar into the chrysalis. Chrysalis is death. And then you move into the butterfly. That's what this is talking about. The energy's coming in into the butterfly. But you can get stuck into the goop of the chrysalis. Imagine the caterpillar is completely dissolved into goop. There is nothing left of that caterpillar because it has to change into the butterfly. And you have to look at your life, your expectations, your world, and there's going to be lots of stormy experiences to help you do that. And are you doing it in a way that brings you towards self-love, brings you towards healing, brings you towards letting go of what no longer serves you? Are you doing that? If you do, this now becomes rebirth. Death is about that transitional change. Something is letting go and dying in your life and rebirthing into something else. We have death and rebirth every year in the season of winter. It is a death of the trees. It is a death of the flowers. And it is needed because they need to conserve this energy and then they will come back vibrant and in a new way. So for you, is this blocked or is this energy coming in? That's what it's asking. And the Four of Cups is also getting you to ask another question. Is this energy coming in or is it blocked? So in this card, we have four cups. Cups is the suit of relationships, emotions, and intuition. And we have these four cups that are empty. And she's kind of bored. She's like, I have these cups. I really don't care. They're empty. I'm looking off and not seeing this fourth cup just being shared. And it's being shared. The idea of this and the story of this card is it's the divine giving a gift, just saying, look at this full cup. And some of them have just like rainbows and sparkles coming out of this fourth cup. So it's asking you, are you so busy looking at what you're bored at, what you're struggling with, the emptiness, the empty cups, and just having apathy? Or are you looking at the aspects of your life that you see the gifts, you see this fire, you see this passion? Because if it's blocked and you can't see any passion, there is no joy, there is no play. You have to go back to play. You have to find things that bring you joy, and you deserve it. Because then now this is getting you with a different perspective, getting you to look at what is the gift being offered to you right now. And it's coming through your conscious connections of the people around you, your conscious connections with your own self. My question here coming in is, do you spend time alone? Do you spend time alone contemplating with yourself, walking in the forest, walking in nature, watching a candle, and really listening into your own heart, your own soul? So it's that conscious connection with yourself. Where do you find joy, happiness, love? Having a conscious connection with people in your life that bring you that joy, happiness, love. And you might need to put in some boundaries for the other people who are not those conscious connections. And maybe they have been all of your life, they have been. And now you have to say, thank you for being there. But for right now, in this evolution and expansion of my heart and soul in my life this year, I need to put just a boundary here for myself because I need to connect with people who are going to help me come to this absolute expansion of my heart and soul and just shining like a vibrant star. I just see you just shining and just your heart standing on the top of a mountain and saying, look what I have done. I am amazing. I am awesome. And I easily receive all of this and recognize how amazing and incredible I am. I just own my awesomeness. Reminds me of the energy of Kung Fu Panda. That's what you're achieving. I'm going to do your surrender. What do you need to surrender? What's going to help you as you surrender to this in this quarter? Surrender to non-action. So this really talks about this is an inward journey. So you're actually not going to climb the mountain per se. You're going to be climbing the mountain within you. You might do this by climbing a mountain, though. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. These are your conscious connections. You're sitting and you're having others come to you. That's what's going to help you move forward. Okay, our last quarter, which is October, November, and December. And this tarot deck is called This Might Hurt. And we're going to look at what you have happening in the last quarter of the year for 2026. We have Major Arcana, the Lovers, Queen of Swords, in reverse, and Nine of Wands in reverse. And we are going to use Asha Frost, the Medicine Oracle. And we are going to see what is the energy for Aquarius. Strawberry, love. So for me, I'm assuming this is self-love. The people you're bringing in is love. We have the Lovers. Okay, I'm going to break this open for you. So this major arcana card, the Lovers card, can be about love. So it can be about finding love. But it is not the card in the deck. Two of Cups is the card in the deck about that soul love. This one is more about choice. What do you choose to love? What do you choose to bring in that brings love for self, love for others, and just fills your heart up? It's about choice. It might be, I choose drinking a beautiful latte coffee that just fills me up. I love that. I love eating quinoa salads for lunch. That just fills me up. I love watching opera. It's choosing all the things that fill you up with love, joy, happiness. It's a nod to the King of Wands. It's a nod to here. It's a nod to love. And it's really, really recognizing that this is a choice. So if you're not finding yourself full of love, full of joy, full of happiness, it's really asking, what am I choosing? And that's a hard piece because, and I can tell you for me, I can stay in victim consciousness. I can really stay and it's happening to me. And I can stay in the framing of how unfair it is, and I'm so sad, and it's really difficult, and I can't do this, rather than moving into gratitude and curiosity, which moves me forward. And that's what the Queen of Swords is talking about. Queen of Swords is the suit of our thinking. It's the suit of being analytical. And the Queen of Swords is coming in. So are you able to really start noticing? So it's like analysis, but it's in a good way. It's in a nurturing, positive way. I recognize, Michelle, that every time you come to this event, this is your response. You can have a different response. And this is how you can do that. So in a beautiful way, it might be through a journal. You're going to look at your ebbs and flows. Where are you seeing yourself responding really well and opening up to love and these elevated emotions that expand us and bring us closer to our highest potential, our most authentic life, and where we are happy and full of love and love for ourselves and love for everybody around us. And so the analytics about it is helping us see the patterns of what we choose. And this is where in protection, it can be a block if you don't then use your mind as this beautiful tool that it can be to help you, because your mind can help you by journaling. It can help you to just start thinking through and processing. Another thing that I do is it's coming in to tell you that I do automatic writing. So I might have an emotion and I'll write it at the top, or an experience, and I'm recognizing when I'm going through this spiral. So I will then just do inspired writing, automatic writing for 5 minutes, and I just write and write and write. I let all of it go. And I find by processing outside of my mind, it pulls the emotion out of it. And then I can think about it from a different perspective and in a different way. This Queen of Swords is also a nod to the Hanged Man, not at that major arcana level, but at the lesser of a level. And then we have the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands is also in reverse. And it could either be that we're giving up. So that's what the reverse is. You give up. It's been a tough year and you just say, to hell with it. I don't care. I recognize at the beginning I wanted things to go well, but now I just give up. And the Nine of Wands is a card So bringing in this energy is don't give up. The end is so close. You have done so much work. He's writing a book or an essay, and it's this idea that do the work. I know this is, the last, if you're doing any working out, it's that last run, that last bit of your workout when it's really, really tough. It's digging in deep, it's going with your gut level and just like just stay there because it's almost over. Everything you have worked for is almost over. And then we're going to get to 2027, but just, just stay in it. Stay in it. Take care of yourself. So in this energy, things that I would also make sure that I do is I would know that I might be exhausted and tired by things happening. So build in breaks, build in things that you enjoy. So for me, that might be massages or facials or different ways that I really help relax my body. I might look at my schedule and not get it too tight or too full, recognizing that I'm going to have to be processing emotions and working through them because I don't want to give up. I want to be filled with love and I want to be just this star, just expanding, my heart expanding into this joy and this bliss for myself first, fully and completely, and then for others. Because all the work that we do for ourselves actually emanates out into the whole collective and in our whole family line. It just does. So this inner work makes a difference. Surrender to divine timing. This is a nod as well here of saying we might be, because the timing isn't ours, but we've said we wanted it. So sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. What our mind is saying, well, I've done the work, now I need it. Why isn't it here? I shouldn't do all this inner work because it should have changed. This is saying divine timing is coming. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. This is the 9 energy. Trust the universal flow. It is happening. You can't see it. It's like the seed that you've put in the ground. It is coming. It is growing. You just can't see it right now. So don't give up. Do not give up. That's what it's saying. And now, beautiful Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising. I am going to be closing this reading with just some oracle cards. I have 4 different oracle cards that I'm going to pull. And we're just asking, like, what is the exclamation? What do we need to really think of as we go? Balanced life. Love seeks your well-being. So love here, it seeks your well-being. So live a balanced life. If you find your mind is going too much and it's swirling around, find a way to balance your mind. What are some somatic practices you can bring in? And that might be meditation. It might be some apps, the calming app. It might be, I listen to audiobooks as I go to sleep, so it helps my mind. Some people, my husband never does. I do. And it's a book I've listened to again and again, so it's not surprising to me. Balance might be your eating. Balance might be your hormones. If you're like me and a menopausal woman, it might be finding balance in your hormones. So go to your doctor and have some of those conversations. It might be balance in your spirituality. Do you have a practice? Are you connected to your heart and your soul? And if you're looking for ways, start exploring what's bringing you joy, what's bringing you happiness, what do you love? So how do you find balance in your life? And you have lots of play in here. So it's definitely checking that when you look and build your calendar for the week, you have built in play, things that light you up. You need that very specifically, Aquarius. And here we have Rebecca Campbell. This is her Ancient Stones Oracle. What guidance are you getting here? It is saying the secret chamber, potency, deep connections, and treasure. So some of these moments are going to be going into that deep chamber, into some challenging shadows. And we call shadows just the parts of ourselves that we don't love. And that's usually what comes up in the middle of a storm, right? And we have to see our shadows with deep love. That's not good and bad. It's all is, and accept all aspects of ourselves and love ourselves just as we are in our human. And actually, the other one also wanted to come out with, which is temple, the wisdom within, quiet external noise. So it's also making sure, and that nod in, how do you quiet your external noise? Do you go for walks? Do you go to nature? Do you have tech time? Do you have time in your day that is free of technology? And it's just for your heart, your soul. It's getting you to explore that. I have the moon deck. We have different eclipses happening throughout this year, and eclipses are with the moon. And they often talk about some karmic completions that's happening or karmic activations. So I'm just checking for you, Aquarius, from this moon deck. What is it talking about? I trust the mystery of life. So it's trusting the mystery. This is surrender to timing, receiving, and recognize you can't understand everything that's happening, but trust it, trust and surrender, and know that it is moving towards what you're creating, even if you can't see it at that moment. And our final card is from Asha Frost, the Elder Spirit Animal deck. So what is the energy and the animal spirit that is going to journey with you in 2026? It is Elder Wolf. Protect your energy. So here is talking about protecting your energy. We've had it over here, protecting your energy. So recognizing your balanced life is about protecting your energy. It's also then a red flag. Wherever you're out of balance, you haven't protected your energy. So to move back into that, find ways that you can create balance in your energetic flow. And I'm just getting a nod to tell you, Carolyn Meese is another teacher, I think, and she talks about anatomy of spirit. And it is really looking at our body and our energy and how we work with that. So if you've never had that book, it's in audiobook and it's also in a softcover book. So it might be something that you want to explore if you're finding yourself out of whack and wanting to figure out how to work with energy. So beautiful Aquarius, if you have found this helpful, I am so glad. And I would ask you to do something for me. Please like this video. Please share it with another Aquarius that might find value in it. And please subscribe. As I continue to build my body of work, then you'll know that it's there. And if you want to know more about the astrology of 2026, just sign up for my free workshop in the link below. We're going to look at the astrology and pull more cards. Until next time, keep leading with your soul.